Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I'm up today with this super cute layout. Well, it will be a super cute layout by the end, but using these adorable photos of my partner and my nephew Jack. So you've seen Jack on this channel many times. He's Jess's son, and that's my partner Danny, and it is actually Danny's birthday. And I made just some rumbles, which Danny loves, and Jack and Jess and Tom came over, and so I put some candles in the rumbles, and Jack of course wanted to blow out the candles, and they are just the cutest photos in the world. So I really wanted to scrap them, and actually I am using, I guess, what people might describe as quite a feminine collection for this layout. It is the Pebbles Terrific collection mostly. Actually, I think with the exception of one or two of the pieces of pattern paper that I use, it's all the Pebbles Terrific collection. So you can see me with the cutter parts there. I wanted to use one of the cutter parts as sort of the title, I guess, and I don't put any sort of other title on the page. And I flicked through a few of them, and in the end I decided on the one that's there. It's blue with the little bear, and it says, "Please join me for tea," which I just thought was so cute. And even though there's no tea per se in these photos, it is cake and, or well, rum balls with no rum. So they're actually Milo balls. They're made with Milo, which I don't know if you have. Sorry, digress. I don't think you have Milo anywhere else in Australia or New Zealand. I think it's an Australian New Zealand thing. It's like a chocolate drink, chocolate malt drink. It's delicious, and that is what I put in those balls. So they're just Milo, condensed milk, crushed up biscuits, and coconut. So back to the layout. I've pulled out some of the papers from the Terrific paper pad that I wanted to use, and I'm sort of going to create, I guess, like a triangle effect, starting from the top of the page, which my largest photo, and coming down sort of to the bottom of the page into a point. And that's the sort of look I'm going for. So I'm just backing my photos. I used a couple of the cutter parts from the 3x4 cutter part sheet that I was never going to use to back the two smaller photos, or one's a photo and the other one is the 3x4 card. So I trimmed them down a little bit and then backed them on another 3x4 card. So I did that, and then for the bigger photo I also trimmed that down slightly so that I could use the 6x6 paper pads to back the photo. So obviously the top photo is a 4x6, so I needed to trim it down slightly to make it be able to fit onto the 6x6 pattern paper. So I'm just doing that now. What else can I tell you? I've already told you about the super cute photos. Oh, and I'm actually going to keep the piece of paper that I'm using as the background paper. Is also one of the cutter parts from the Terrific collection, but I decided that I wanted to use the B-side. Oh, sorry, it's Tea-Lightful, not Terrific. It's Tea-Lightful collection by Pebbles. But I wanted to use the B-side. And it also has a super cute branding strip, which is just teacups, and I wanted to keep that on. So I did, and I cut a little bit off the top. So I'm all for that if the branding strip's super cute and it doesn't have any sort of actual branding on it. So it doesn't have a barcode, doesn't have a name or anything like that. So it was super cute and I wanted to use it, so I am. Yeah. But it is actually, the back of it is the 2x2 square cutter part sheet, which did have some super cute sayings on it. So I'm partly, it was in two minds about using it, but I just thought it was so cute, the B-side, and it just worked really well. So yes, this layout is very kind of pinks and pastels, mints. There is some blues as well. I have absolutely no issue whatsoever using pinks, mints, light pastel colours, guess what some people might call more feminine colours, on layouts of the boys in my life, because I don't think that makes a difference what colour paper you scrap with for the gender of the subjects in the picture. But anyway, that's just me. Oh, did you hear that? That was my baby starting to wake up. Go back to sleep, baby. It hasn't been long enough. We'll see. I've got the monitor sitting on the desk beside me so I can see him. But he may go back to sleep, actually. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It's only been about half an hour. He's a bit of a cat napper during the day, so I'm trying to hopefully get him to sleep just a wee bit longer than that. Anyway, what am I doing? So I'm cutting up some larger pieces of pattern paper, and I'm creating this sort of triangle effect using strips of paper. So I'm just going through and cutting off the papers that I pulled out. So I actually, a long time ago, last year, I went to a scrapbooking retreat in, I think it was August, and I made a whole heap of kits up, like homemade kits, and I'm still working through them. So I didn't kind of separate them. I kept them when I got back from the retreat. I kept the kits together. They're not page kits because there's lots more in them than just what you need for one page, but they're sort of DIY kits that I put together, and some of them, like this one that I've put together now, is basically all the one collection just with some additional pattern paper. So this kit that I put together was basically the Delightful collection by Pebbles. Like, I had the ephemera, I've got the sticker sheet, I've got the tiny word stickers, and I had the 6x6 paper pad, and then I had two 12x12 pieces of paper, and I just added some extra pattern paper that went with it. It's a cream based collection, so I pulled out some of the cream based papers from my stash, like the black and white gingham one that you can see there, and then the top paper is blue with, they actually are white love hearts, but you can't really tell that they're white, and the rest of the layout is cream, and I'm kind of fine with mixing white and cream anyway, doesn't bother me. So the love heart paper and then the rose gold spotty paper is also papers that I bought in that aren't part of the Pebbles collection, but everything else is. So you can see me there. You can see what I mean by, I guess, the triangle effect that I'm going for. So I've sort of placed it. I was playing around and I'm happy with how it looks. So I'm going to take the photos off and stick down the paper. Now, I don't make you watch this because really it's just me sticking down paper. But what I do is rough the edges of all of the papers up with scissors. So you can see me doing it. Well, you can't really see me doing it because it's off camera. But that's what I'm doing now. So I use just a pair of my scissors just to rough up the edges of each of the pieces of paper going down. Now, as always, I cover most of this with my photos and my embellishments, so did I need to use all of this pattern paper? Probably not. But anyway, that's what I've done. So you can see here I'm sticking the first one down, and then as if by magic, it is all stuck down, or the last one's being stuck down right now. So you can see that triangle, I guess, sort of effect, but again, I cover it. So you can see some of the bits of pattern paper poking through, particularly at the top. But anyway, that's okay. I know it's there, and it does add to the layout. But it is interesting when you go to so much effort to create a really nice background, and then you just cover it anyway with pictures and embellishments. So I stress too much about what my backgrounds look like sometimes, I think. So I'm just popping my photos up on some foam dots and then sticking them down. I'm committing to just sticking them down. So I'm going to stick both the photos and also the 3x4 card that I'm kind of using as my title, Please Join Me for Tea, with the super cute little bear. So I'm just sticking those down now. I just had to move that one of those dots because I forgot that my photo was overlapping. So I'm using up, I ran out of my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, which I love, but I ran out of them, which was fine. I haven't placed an order in a while. And then I realised that I had lots of like little bits of foam dots and other kind of dimensional adhesive that I haven't used up yet. So I just pulled that out. I thought I need to use up all these little scrap bits that are hanging around. So I'm going to work through those before I open any new packets of dimensionals, just to get rid of that stuff. I don't need it hanging around, and it's perfectly good foam dots and things, so I just need to use them. So I've pulled out the ephemera that I think I want to use, and I'm just going to faff around and fiddle around for ages trying to get something that is going to work. And I'm trying, to create, I guess, 3 embellishment clusters, but kind of nestled in around my photos, and then just trying a few different things. And I'm starting to kind of be happy with it, but not really. I wanted to use up, I guess, some of the pieces that probably are a bit harder to use, like the 2 cakes on cake stands and stuff. And while Danny isn't blowing out candles on a cake, he is blowing out candles, and it is his birthday, so I just went with the cake. It's sweets. It works, in my opinion. Now, in a second, you will notice the lighting change. It was at about this time that my child had started to stir and was starting to whinge a little bit in his bassinet. So I was hoping that he would settle himself back to sleep. Alas, he did not. I needed to go and get him. So I didn't come back to finish off this layout until later that night. So it was about 5 hours after I filmed this bit that I had to come back and finish it off. So the lighting does change. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? My baby is awake. And just in time for me to see what I mean about the lighting change. Right, I better go. I will come back and finish my voiceover in a minute. Okay, so I think I might have got him back down for another little sleep, but we'll see. So, where were we at? I am in the process of sticking down all of my little embellishment pieces. I move a few things around, or I have moved a few things around from where I'd sort of originally placed them. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how they're looking. I'm also trying to use some of the stickers. I find these stickers a bit difficult to use because they're clear stickers. So yeah, I don't know. They don't show up as vibrantly on the page as I would probably like. But that's okay. That's fine. So I've put a little floral sticker down the bottom and the large floral die cut piece. And then I am adding the large cake on the cake stand for that bottom cluster. So I'm sticking that cake stand one down now. But I did have to just move some of the foam dots that I'd put on so that it didn't go over top of the photo. Does that make sense? I didn't want the foam dots to be popped up on top of the photo. Yeah, so now I am working on my other clusters. There was a little bird, yellow bird in the sticker sheet, so I add that in the right hand cluster, the top right cluster, and then I add the other little die cut blue or minty kind of coloured bird, and I add that as well. And I think that's it currently for that cluster. And then the middle cluster, I again add a floral sticker, which I'm sticking down now. And then I've got the floral die cut piece, which I add in, and then the smaller cake stand piece, which I also add on. But I popped that one up, so I'm doing that now. And I think I put double dots, or maybe I don't. No, there you go. I don't. Oh, I do. Double foam dots, so it's extra popped up. So it actually pops above the photos. So I've made it a bit higher than the photos. And then I am thinking, what else might I like to include? And so I add a little floral piece on the stickers to each of the clusters. So these are sparkly floral pieces. They're quite cute actually. There's 2 blue ones and a pink one. So I add those to each cluster. And then I decide to add some of the tiny words from the Tiny Word collection. And so I stick 2 of them down the bottom. I think the 2 I stick down say friends maybe and together time. And then I decide that they're too big. Like the word stickers are too fat, if that makes sense. And so I trim them down. But I have to pull them up to do that. So I'm pulling them up and then I'm just getting my scissors and I'm just cutting a little bit off the top and the bottom of the word stickers, and I'm much happier with how they look. They were just too fat for me. There was too much, I guess, of the coloured border around them. It stood out a little bit too much. So I'm adding tiny word stickers to each of the clusters. So the mint ones are added down the bottom, says friends and together time. And then I'm adding this other one that's in the sort of lighter pink colour. And that one I'm pretty sure says happy day. It's very hard to see on the very tiny iPhone screen that I use to edit and do my voiceovers. But I'm pretty sure it says happy day. And this one is, let's have a look. Oh, that one says treat yourself, because I thought, well, obviously I picked all the words because I thought they were all relevant. And then I decide to make 3 clusters and kind of combinations of the 3 colours. So there's a dark pink, a light pink and a mint, or more a dark pink, a coral and a mint, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that's what it is. So that one says laugh often. And I don't know what this one is. I have to wait till I stick it down. Oh, be grateful. Laugh often, be grateful. And oh, this one I think says happiness, that I use from the mint one. And then I add 2 more, I think. Yeah, no, I don't put it there. Back there I go. I decide I need a small one in that cluster on the left. So I go with Joy and I add that. If you notice my boo-boo, I meant to add a coral one. I didn't. I added a dark pink, so I was going to have 3 of each colour, but I don't. I have 4 dark pinks, 3 mints and 2 corals, but it doesn't matter. And then the final one I add down the bottom cluster and it says enjoy the moment. And so I add that once I've trimmed it. Oh, I'm still picking it. I do pick the enjoy the moment. So, spoiler alert. There we go. Enjoy the moment. So I'm trimming that down and then adding that to the bottom, and then I'm done. I'll tidy up around myself and I'll find something to cover my photos with, because of course I am going to use mist, because it wouldn't be a layout of mine without it. So you can see here I'm trying to work out how to cover the photos. I didn't want to cover too much of the layout though, because I do want the mist to cover the layout. So I've covered my photos there, and then I get out my gold mist. Of course I do. I'm actually trying to use it up. I have another gold in my stash, not a Heidi Swap one, a different brand, so I'm not, you know, afraid to use it up. But it went down so fast, and then it's kind of reached a point that I feel like it's now never ending. It's the never ending mist. I've probably got, I'm looking at it now, I've probably got a quarter left, maybe a third. So I am getting there, but it does last forever, this stuff. So I'm sprinkling the gold, and then I go in with the Kaisercraft mist in pink. It's just called pink. And it's an iridescent mist as well, so it has a bit of shimmer to it. And so, yeah, I add the pink. I will say with this Kaisercraft one, it doesn't flick very well. I had a lot of trouble flicking it. So I'm going to show you the close-ups, and then this layout is done. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and I hope you like these photos as much as I do. All right, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.